But I start with people's beginnings because, again, I think we are more than our current circumstance. Like you've had a lot of life before you. So tell me about yourself, Candy. Where were you born and raised?
Let's see. I was adopted, so my birth certificate is Bremerton, Washington.
Okay.
So, well, like you said, there's a lot of differences. A lot of life ahead of me, but I popped into existence. Like I remember waking up and there I was in midair, and then I popped into a whole bunch of other places too. So, but on the birth certificate, it's Bremerton, Washington. And then.
And what was your home life like growing up? Who'd you grow up with?
It's kind of difficult. It's kind of it's a weird abuse story. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like everything for the most part seemed okay. You know what I mean? Like I was adopted, so you know, like after the adoption, the stuff behind us, behind the adoption and before the adoption seemed like, you know, like, oh, I got taken like out of the situation. You know
well, how old were you when you were adopted?
I was 10.
Oh, so you remember vividly.
Yeah.
And 1 to 10, you were where?
I was kind of everywhere, actually. That's what.
Like foster care system?
I went into foster care, and the family that had me, the very first foster care family that had me was the one that adopted me.
Okay.
And so.
But before that, you were everywhere.
Yeah, I was just kind of everywhere. Like it's weird. I have over a third of my brain missing, so I've had a lot of. They were real good to. Everything's okay and put on a show, and so the abuse was real subtle. Like so, it wasn't seen. Like you know, like some people can make some bad things seem really, really good. You know what I mean? So like, and if you don't know the difference, then
if you're a kid and you don't know the difference,
then you know what I mean. Like if you're raised in that, like.
Well, I'll say when you're a kid, you don't know the difference.
Yeah. Well, you know, like Well, I don't know about that. Like, that's with people and they're convincing and they're having to do that. I'm assuming that us children do know the difference to some point, you know what I mean? That's why they're like, let's just baby proof everything, like, you know, with with our lies and our covers,
good point, fair
and
enough.
The truth, like, you know what I mean? Because you have to have truth to some degree, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'll say this, like kids, I have 3 kids, 2 little girls that are 8, 9, and 11. It's like, and they're learning a ton, but it's like they're being taught. And so, and you're right, to a certain degree, they do know, like, hey, that's not okay.
Right.
But they're very vulnerable.
We're very thankful. I'm very thankful. Like, we're very lucky to have the system, like what is it called? The already knowledge that we already have for our bodies and our on our systems and like how we work and how things function. You know what I mean? Because to teach ourselves cognitives and what is it called? Manonets, but they're not manonets. Like basics, you know, like basic 1, 2, 3s. Oh, manners, but not manners. Yeah, okay, yeah, manners. I thought it was that, but to teach ourselves that, plus to live life. You know what I mean? Like there's no period in time to where it's just observation and study. You know what I mean? Or observation, like let me see where it fits. You know what I mean? Yeah, which is quite difficult sometimes, which is one of my goals to fucking put in place.
Well, what do you remember in your around 10 years old?
Let's see. So I had another brother. I had my brother David and my sister Nicole that were adopted with us as well. And let's see. I was in the newspaper. My adopted mother, she apparently had a child, but she came to me and she's like, "Here, you need to name him." And so I was the one who named him. I was homeschooled, so I wasn't allowed to go to school. And turns out that the children that that I had that they had were mine. And so but I was 10. I did piano lessons. We were they were an LDS family, so we went to church. It seemed like a basic normal household. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of like murmur under the breath. Like, you know what I mean? And so like people, if they don't know a lot about crafting or practicing, like, for witchcraft, because these are witching grounds. And
well, were you guys, so you said that all three of you guys were adopted into this family?
Yeah.
And you guys all went to church and did the
yeah.
Mormon everything?
Yeah, like we all did. But like, so, I mean, like I said, I went through my brain missing, and so like, but if, you're a peripheral vision, like, and there's a lot of things that people don't, like, a lot of power that people take for granted, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they just chop it and chalk it up to, well, that's normal, like, you know what I mean? That we're always going to have that kind of thing be available for us, you know what I mean? But like a lot of power and gaps, I guess, that people use, you know what I mean? Like manifestation, right? Subverting, gifts to another, like, you know what I mean? Right? And so, like, I mean, the words of, just to be able to use the words out of the Bible for protection is witchcraft, you know what I mean? Or, they're, ways of protection. So, I mean, they're spells, in a sense, but people don't look at it like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, because there's definitely similarities, and I've never thought of it and related it to like that, but you're right, there are a lot of, it's spiritual, mystical,
right,
kind of out of this world, right?
Yeah, and so, like, a lot of that is happening right now, and just because, like, but people have to realize that it's the best that all together and individuals that they can describe themselves, you know what I mean? Because they have to individualize it, and when you are not taught that it's an individual thing, it's no, because it's our image is an individual thing. Other than that, everything is a group, you know what I mean? It's about what you can offer others and what others can offer you, and what you put yourself in.
And so when you were growing up, was it were you guys pretty heavy into the Mormon thing? Like,
we went, like, our father, he grew up Catholic, and he appeased our adopted mom, and we went, but it was so, like, our father got accused of and was of child molestation towards myself and my sister, and it turns out that he didn't do it, which, you know what I mean, like, people are extremely quick and extremely talented, yeah. And so, like, the fact that he didn't do it and still took the blame means a lot to us, because we've always, like, supported him, and like,
well, so I'm following you. You're saying that he got accused of molesting you guys?
Yeah, of us. And so, like,
but you are saying, like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of okay. So it's kind of weird. Like, the situation happened because I ended up being the one that told, saying, "Hey, this is what happened," because my sister was influenced, and she's like, "No, you need to go say something." And I was like, "I don't know if I should," you know what I mean? But like, if something, like, if your picture in your mind, like, you know, when you go back to memory, like, oh, let me remember, you know what I mean, is not the correct kind of picture, maybe because maybe you have, like, cancer, or, like, you know what I mean, because it's altered, you know what I mean. So, like, if someone were to use that because they're familiar with that kind of thing, then it's very easy to have somebody be accused of such things, because we do know that there's a lot of incidences in our life, in her life, that have been covered up and used to be pointed at others, like the people that we love, you know what I mean, and almost including ourselves, like saying, hey, this is your fault, even though we know for a fact and have proof that, hey, these people didn't do it, because when it comes down to physical and evidence, you know, it's not showing that. So, but this world has gone up and out of their way extremely. I wouldn't say that. They've gone to extremes of piling in and using weight over matter, like, you know what I mean, saying, well, you know, this is the place and time, and this is how it is what it is. So like, you know what I mean? Might as well just push it under. Like, we've been doing this for a while already. Let's use time, and then like, you know, to make everything seem like it never happened. Because if you know, more of the time goes by, the less potent it is in your mind. You know what I mean? And so
time does change things sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And so the church ended up helping with that. So he didn't go to prison, which was good. But the church helped with that because with him not going to prison. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah.
But you said eventually within that adopted family, you went from there into foster care?
No, they were the ones that actually adopted me.
Okay, so out of foster care.
Yeah.
At 10 years old?
Yeah, at 10 years old I was
Gotcha,
adopted.
I see. And then you were there from
10
high school, you did all the school stuff?
I was homeschooled.
Homeschooled, that's what you said,
to
that's
school.
right.
Yeah, I did packets. I ended up getting sent to Utah. And I finished up high school out of packets, so I graduated a year early. But at 12, I actually graduated with doctors. I am a licensed doctor. They took marshals to fucking actually get fucking Susan to our adopted mom to fucking let me actually go to the graduation and receive my graduation, because her thing was, you're homeschooled, pick something to learn about it. Like, just pick something, like, you know what I mean? That's the great thing about being homeschooled. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And so I did.
What'd you pick?
Well, I did, and it was like herbs and stuff, like areas that I excelled in, while I ended up being able to doctor in them. And so she didn't like that too much because I was like, I ended up showing ways of emancipation and then ways for advancement, because my father at the time, he wanted to do his own business. And I was like, well, this is excelled, like, you know what I mean? I was like, I could be your boss owner, like, you know what I mean, type thing. And she didn't like that too much. She's like, but he's like, oh yeah, okay, because he's a retired chief, like, and I already had to help with that, because, you know what I mean? But I ended up being there until I was 16. And then
Utah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that?
And after that, I'm sure he might just edit and make a smile, but you know what I mean? I appreciate the time. I did do it as well. Did she just say stick to the story? Yeah. That's just like you, Nicole. That's not Nicole. It's not, no. That's Susan's twin. And her niece. Really, yeah. She's quite something, Susan is.
Who are these people?
Oh my gosh. So like, there's a lot of fucking things. I mean, just things that we see on the TV, like, you know, that you can use to do a lot of spying. And these people are people that have attached themselves to some type of wire in my head as well. And because the static and nanos, you know what I mean? Like, because nanos can come extremely small. And, you know, people are different. We have a lot of different type of beings here as well. And sometimes you never know exactly, like, when what you're saying is what is going on, especially if someone's not making sense. Like, one night, me and one of my best friends and my brother and my best friend, where you are, we were walking away from this guy. And I'm like standing, but I started beginning walking. I said, "Is it just me, or do we feel like we just got married, guys? Like, this is really strange feeling." Like, you know what I mean? We just walked away. He's like, "No, I feel that way too." And I was like, "So you're telling me that we just got done having this conversation with this guy and now we're married? Like, is why we all feel the same feeling? Like, that's some weird stuff." Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to be careful. Like, that feeling and thoughts in your head, like, you know, that people get. This is awesome. Yeah, I know. Why? Just people.
Well, Candy, from Utah, where do you go?
Utah. After Utah, I left.
Back to Washington?
Back here to Washington. And then, let's see. I was in the Air Force. Well, I was in the Air Force, but I was down in Texas for just a tad bit. But I was an Air Force pilot, and ended up having a really bad accident. And so.
Tell me about that accident. Does it have something to do with what you were talking about before, the brain part?
Yeah, I already had a brain problem. I have cancer and lupus. So I've had it for quite some time. Plus, my immune system was attacking itself. I lost a child that way, and but it's just at the same time, yes, kind of. How are they doing? So they're shaving, but they're also painting over, and plus they have a wave. So we're in a pie, yeah. Plus something else.
How long were you in the Air Force?
Let's see. I'm still currently actually. I was about to say. Frank doesn't know this. Because that's me too. Yes. Do you usually stay connected with yourself? Yes, I do. They've been doing this. Yeah, I'm always connected with myself. I usually don't have everybody in here like this.
Tell me about that. You said I usually don't have everybody in here like this.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
So my picture, I'm an empath and one hell of a seer, actually. So like, I'm super sensitive. Like, I mean, you give me something, I can tell you. Like, I mean, this like a hunt. Yeah, pretty much. I'm like I can hunt like nothing else. But I see things, premonitions, visions. I've just got done walking with her, this individual, because she talks for us. I started talking like I noticed someone following me, and I hum. I usually hum. I'm usually quiet. I was in nunnery. That's right. And so it's crazy how our eyes are, huh? Yeah. I was just noticed that. And Jennifer stole Chris's. But anyways, me this guy, she started realizing that someone was following her. She hums a lot, and sings. She's a fantastic singer, but I'm not allowed to chant because I'm known for chanting, and because I'm an enchantress. And are you actually registered as a witch? Yeah, I'm registered as a minimum mural warlock witch. Oh, okay. So like the towns and everything, like, and a countess. So that's what that is. So yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, and so they do know that about me, but we just got done going through a series of different types of visions of how to tell the difference between dreams, real life, a protonic life, a staged life, because like, that movie, The Truman Show, like, what I mean, his whole life being staged, like, that's a real thing, like, you know what I mean? And so like, there's a special type of lens that, that film people. Like, I was just wondering the other day, I was like, in movies, I'm like, I wonder why they do this, like, the movie's being filmed, but then they always do the front shot. The full frontal. I'm like, why would they do that if it's a movie? See, we're supposed to be watching the movie for as if it is there right now. Like, they're not supposed to be aware that there's a side wall. Like, you know what I mean? And so, like, this is interesting. And, like, great. Thank you.
Well, I'm curious, Candy, so what's happening when you're like 25? I mean, you could be 25 right now. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so sorry, hold on just a second.
That's fine.
I'm getting a vape out. So the age thing, because I didn't speak English when I came to them. I remember I have I kept telling them, they kept asking my name, and I was like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, you know what I mean? Because I sometimes I have many names, and so sometimes you have many names, yeah. And so I'm like, but they finally came up with the name Heather. They gave me the name Heather, so Heather's the name that I've had for on paper for this whole time. But I didn't speak any English, and so I had my birthday, and so here these days I was like, I wonder how old I am, you know what I mean? I'm like, compared to like some things, because some things weren't adding up, and I was like, the growth of my body and some other things, I was like, well, that's strange, like, you know what I mean? And so like with having some of my children, the doctor said I had extreme amount of scar tissue and some other stuff for the the fact that I had no bone there, I just had scar tissue on marrow, or it was weird. Like the what he was talking about, I was like, well, that's strange. So I mean, like that's an age thing, like you know what I mean, like, and if someone's not able to develop, you know what I mean, because they're stunted, then I was like, it made me curious. So since I've been back up in Washington, and after I left Texas, I've been on this. I need to, like, whatever I'm feeling, I was like, I need to fucking accept it and just listen to it. And so I did, because like, it was one of the hardest things I ever fucking have been having to do, because I had to get my kids.
How many kids?
I had 3.
What are their names?
Ryan, Michael. 1, 2, 4 of them. Sorry, 3 of them.
How old are they?
Let's see. The oldest is he's like 16. But there's it's a lot. Why? Because there's actually more than one for Ryan and Kate and them. There is, huh? Yeah. You mean Michael then? Yeah. So I just got done being informed, like, and I mean, because I have a child previous before all this, like a lot of people don't know, like, and he and I had a weird situation happen where this lady decided that she was going to take credit for everything that I did, and she didn't know that me and my son were actually pen pals. And so at his graduation of something for school, he ends up taking me over to this lady, and he's like, hey, I just want to introduce you to my mom. You know what I mean? And so he introduced me to this lady, and so she's like, oh, like stunted, like, oh fuck, you know, like, you know what I mean, like, because she had been trying to take credit for everything I've done, like trying to scoot me out of the fucking picture. And I have that here recently happening, like there's some weird stuff going on. So
Candy, how long or have you been unhoused? And when did that happen?
Like 6 years now?
Oh, that's 6 years ago.
It's about 6 years now. I have a lot of things with the help, like accounts frozen, houses that I've had put up just because I knew something. I just knew that's what they needed to be. But I've been on this path right now. I just knew I needed to do it. You know what I mean? Like buckle up, and you know. Plus, I knew it would show me a lot of things, and being grateful and being thankful. And it has been, but it's been about 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. It's been kind of a shock. Like I loved it when I first became homeless. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
tell me about that. What did you love? Like the freedom.
The freedom, just the freedom to be able to like walk around whenever the fuck I wanted to, like at night, because I love walking around at night and just seeing everything, and for like the town and the people for what they are. You know what I mean? And.
My guess is it's a lot quieter at night as well.
Yeah, it's quite different. It's quite interesting. Mm-hmm. My relationship with the animals has been quite something, and then just seeing where my focus, interests like are like as well. You know what I mean? And like seeing where schooling and what I was taught has taken place as well. You know what I mean? Just. It's been quite something. And so, see, like, I'm like, there's so many abandoned houses, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm surprised that people don't have houses, you know what I mean? But then, like, I see a lot of the stuff that there's some things that us homeless do, and but a good portion of them that just ruin a lot of things and opportunities for people. And I was just like, you know, damn, like, I've never seen so much shit by a dumpster in my life. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me. And I'm like, okay, that's new. I'm like, do I need to do that to be a real homeless? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't
like,
think so.
Part of this.
Well, I think you're talking about like the lack of public bathrooms.
Yes.
It's
yes
like
and
there's,
no.
it's.
It's a no.
It's a lot
These
of.
days, I hardly see anybody go to the bathroom. Like, it's kind of weird.
Okay. How, Candy, are you surviving out here?
By the means, there's been a good set of individuals that have taken within themselves and taken their place in life and everything, and has been patient with me in situations that I'm in, and has helped me a lot, which I'm super thankful for. As well as the food bank, food stamps is a fucking awesome one. They've been awesome.
Yeah, Ballard Food Bank is amazing.
And then just the people who come around and give us, food or socks or
those two priests.
Yeah, like I'm just all kinds of different people. Yeah,
gotcha.
And just even the people who, I've had people just stop in their car and like give me money, you know what I mean, which has been awesome as well. And then believe it or not, like all the people who throw away perfectly good stuff, like I've gotten a
lot of that in Seattle.
I'm very thankful for that. Yeah.
People leave all kinds of stuff out, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and I've done it too. I've put stuff out, and I've also found stuff, which I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So, but
well, Candy, like, what do you? We were talking earlier, like, this is the present here right now. You've had a lot of life before. Hopefully, we will have a lot of life after this. Where do you see yourself? What do you want? What's your dream?
Reaping what we sow, like, you know what I mean? What we put in is what we get necessarily, but I would like to have, I'm focusing on that being something that is going to come strongly and in place, that, you know what I mean, people getting credit for the effort that they have put in, no matter what it is, as well as it be appropriately, like, you know what I mean, because there is such a way that it can be possible as the health in people. Yes. A lot of people don't know this, but like this girl, like, she's having a hard time talking, but she's always had a hard time talking, and it has to do with her name, and that's how this all kind of started, was that she was giving power to her name because the system here ran her, and the name Heather ended up becoming her God name, which was interesting because as I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Is there witching grounds? Yeah. They're yours? Yes. Oof. So you can see that? Yeah, I don't know what they look like, but I can see the.
Tell me about who you're talking to. I'm curious.
I don't know. I talk for them, like I said, because I'm consciously with myself all day, all throughout the day. Doesn't matter if it's dark or night. Dark or day, light. But I was like, I take responsibility for everything that I do and say. You know what I mean? My actions, my reactions, what I put out there. Like, it was something that I had been doing, studying, and putting forth. Do I know my effect in life with everything that I do and don't do? And so I've been working on it, and finally I was like, okay, my printer, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to, for you to look at it. And so he did, and he's like, wow, you know what I mean? And so I was like, because I do, but these people started using I got taken over, my voice got taken over one day, and I'm consciously right there, but she was using my voice, and I'm looking at my dude at the time, and I'm like, I can't stop talking like this. And I'm like, for some reason, I'm like, you know what I mean? But like, I've been able to control what I say, you know what I mean? But the speed and what it's been doing, I haven't been able to. So I was like, well, I'm just thankful that I'm able to handle what I am saying. So I was like, from there on, I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, I'm going to say it at the same time too. Like, and I'm going to say what it is that I want for the most part. Like, but because it's all going to be truth. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't care if people think I'm crazy or not. Like, you know what I mean? My reality is my reality, and my truth is my truth. And so. Yeah, well, like,
you're.
Even if it was a false image, like enough pressure in one area, or like say, hey, I have a pinched nerve, and so therefore I'm hearing something. It still doesn't matter. The fact that I'm still hearing something is that the fact that I'm still hearing something due to the fact that something may be pinched or not true. So that's why I decided to start talking at the same time. And I was like, then I realized that the talks and because I was getting a response, and I was like, okay, this is real. I was like, and I have no like microphone on me. I have no wires. So
you just like went with it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And to a certain point, like we all talk to ourselves inside of our heads.
Well, yeah, it's okay
constantly.
to do that. Yeah,
yes, it's
exactly.
okay to do that.
Yeah,
and it's just not audible.
And the safety of that has been getting punched at. You know what I mean? And it makes me really concerned because it's really scary. Like I've been seeing a lot of people go through a lot of pain, and you can't even tell because, you know what I mean? If I make it, if I hide someone in the back of or hollow it out because they're going at a different speed, then like, you know what I mean? But it's just really scary.
Candy, one last question before we wrap up, and I appreciate your time. Is there anything you want the people of Seattle to know?
You know, this whole judging and just like and acting upon, you know, promises for people, you know what I mean? Like, because I see a lot of people just doing what they're doing and what they're saying. I'm like, it's obvious. I'm like, it's not a good thing, and it's not for the right individuals, the right side. I mean, personally for themselves and anything else, and for everybody else, as well as our environment, because our environment and our world is, she's done. Like, and if they haven't realized that, like, they should be realizing it pretty soon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to help people in the mind just because, like, or to help people like, well, she was super sexy. Well, I'm like, okay, well, are you getting paid? Like, I mean, what? I'm like, we all are consumers. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, anybody, like, we all are, even if it means all the way down to our body and our natural, like, needs. Like, well, I need that. Like, yeah, we all have that. Consume. You know what I mean? That's not a problem. But when you can't admit that, hey, your needs are being met, or like, and the damage and weight is for the damage is weighing down, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a time you don't just keep going, especially when you're a select people, like, you know what I mean? And to take a better look at things, like, it's just, I don't know how to say it exactly. I mean, I do, but it's just difficult, like, because there's been a lot of violence, you know what I mean, like, and ignorance to, like, things with these days, you know what I mean, and to keep ignoring truth, as well as, like, the thing that they do know. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, why would you want to, like, what could be better for everybody to that could have them hide or deny their past, where they come from, and what they believe in, like, or else they wouldn't be here. And so, like, I just know that truth is going to come out like it always does, and it's going to stand strong, as well as it's going to be quite interesting, because you might not expect like their ideas of and descriptions of some people, because it is man translated and it's translated. That's what's scary, is that it's translated. You're going to trust somebody to translate something for you, and to translate something, you know what I mean? Like, to take something and be like, well, this is what it is, and to describe it, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have things, things to go off of, like, okay, well, I'm going to look for that to know that it has that, for description. But translation, if I don't know what that person's saying at all, like, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck do I know that what he's saying isn't really something else? Like, you know what I mean? And so this person's just going off of a general feel of what they do know is truth, you know what I mean? And what the people are capable of holding, and what their down and lows are. Because why? Because percentage and consumerage, as well as leverage. But happiness is blocked, you know what I mean? And people might be really surprised that we might have a world that allows revenge and time for ourselves, for others, or from others, and us to them. And it might be just the correct thing to do, because there's a correct way to do things, even, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, just
That's great.
people do love them, and you know, like to be submissive, like look at themselves and like see who is being submissive, and when they're the ones that are getting hit on, you know what I mean, and kicked down and kicked down and kicked down, like there's a reason why people are submissive, like and animals, like that's been my big concern here lately, except for the screaming and the crying and sex sounds that we've all been hearing. So that's been awful. Yeah, it has been.
Candy, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna grab that little mic. Here, you can grab it. Go ahead. I gotta take a couple photos.